Willie D Live.
I didn't feel love, so it's like I'm just come to school and just do whatever I want. And then it wasn't until I turned 18 and I discovered this thing called sex, and I had a baby at 18. And at that time, I only had three choices. My father said, you got to leave in 6 months. So you can either, my three options were to go back and work at Taco Bell. I didn't want to be pimped. I didn't want to get told what to do. You could join the military. I didn't want to get shot. and the war was about to start in Iraq.
So you
I
worked
went
at Taco Bell.
Yeah, what that?
So you went to Taco Bell?
Nah, man.
You didn't work at Taco
Well,
Bell?
I did work at Taco Bell,
Yeah.
but when I turned 18, I went to college.
Okay.
And when I got to college, I was out of place. I felt like a fish out of water. I did not feel like I belonged because, I mean, why would I be in college? I couldn't even make good grades in high school. I never made an A in anything. I think I might have made an A in PE or something.
Well, you made A in sex.
I made an A in sex. Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Yes, I did. She will confirm that, I hope. But anyway, so I get to college, right? I didn't know what I was doing, man. I would see, and the funny thing was I started learning. In hindsight, it's like I was around people that maybe they weren't smart, but they knew how to look smart. They knew how to look the part. They had the backpack with the little glasses and carrying all the books. And I was more like an athlete or whatever. I did sports and stuff, and school wasn't my thing. But I knew I needed to get an education because that's what I had been told my whole life. I was leaning on what my parents had always said to me. I just never listened. And I had this baby, right? So I was like, okay, I know I don't want to be broke. I don't want to get pimped. And I said, okay, I think school is the way for me to get what I need so I can be successful and be able to be there for my child, right? So the problem was I did not know how to study, but that was my best advantage, actually, because I had nothing to base it on. So in my mind, I said, okay, how long should I study every day? And I thought about my job at Taco Bell where I would work 8 or 9 or 10 hours because I was a hustler at the job. I wanted that minimum wage money. You know what I mean? I always had money because I was always working. So I was like, if I can work at Taco Bell on my feet for 10 hours, I can study for 5 hours. Like I thought that was like a half a day, right? And then I learned from sports. See, sports is very valuable in terms of teaching you things like, goal setting, consistency, hard work. You learn all these things from playing sports. So I just applied those same principles to academics, right? So in my mind, I didn't think of like going to the library and studying. In my mind, I was like, I'm going to practice. And I would go to the library every day for 5 hours. Again, scared to death, just thinking I was just barely surviving. I did not know at the time that most college students don't study. They study like 2-3 hours a week, and then they try to cram right before the test. So I was way ahead of everybody, right? And to my surprise, I was the only black student on the University of Kentucky campus that had straight A's. And I had almost a perfect GPA all the way through college. I was the number one student. And the whole time I felt like a big fraud. I was like, I'm not smart. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that I might have some intelligence until maybe my senior year or something like that. Then I started thinking, okay, maybe I was lied to my whole life. Maybe those teachers that were telling me who I was were misidentifying me. And then I started thinking about how many other millions of black boys this happens to.